This is an update on our side patio area where I have common milkweed growing for the monarch butterflies. And actually I'm very lucky that I planted it in this planter and it's contained, because what I didn't know at the time when we scattered the seeds was that these plants grow by underground rhizomes. So they are not easily contained and they just pop up. So as you see, these plants, these are all common milkweed plants. And the ones that are older, like the 3-year-olds and older, will be about 6, 7, 8 feet tall. And it looks kind of tropical here on the side of my patio. So we're lucky in a way that it's in a contained area on the side of my patio, because otherwise these would be all over my yard. I'm so glad I didn't plant them in my garden. There are other types of milkweeds, which I've mentioned in other videos, that are great for the home garden, suburban garden, but these are not one of them. They just kind of, you can't contain them. They pop up in their own way wherever they want. So right here in this small space you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then as you can see, they're all over there. And these are the larger ones. They get really large. And there's about 5 of them in there, and I've already cut back about 4 little ones that jump in there. Then also what happens is, see how these leaves are curling? They almost crowd themselves out. And this one has kind of been eaten by some insects. And when they grow really close to each other like that, I do cut them out. Here's some more. So these are not plants that you want to plant in your home garden if you can avoid it. Unless you have a great space, like you have a large yard that maybe there's woods or prairie nearby, or you have a really nice space for like a meadow garden. I have a few more in the front, so I'm going to show you over here. They're just starting in the front. There's more shade over here. This side garden gets them as well. There's 2 there. It's a concrete garden, and it was already kind of splitting a little bit, but now that these are growing, I'm sure it's putting pressure on them as well. And there's like 2 over there, and then over in my mailbox area, there's 1 starting there. We usually get a couple over there, and then they do pop up in the yard too. We haven't had any pop up yet, but they pop up along the driveway. I actually love that we're able to provide for the monarch butterflies, and it's fun to watch them fly around here. Usually in July they come around, the end of June, sometimes very early, but they'll lay their eggs on these plants. The caterpillars will eat them. I do collect a few eggs, mostly because we have a ton of birds, and they end up becoming bird food, which is fine too. That's the cycle of life. But I do save a few eggs so they can make it to adulthood. I have videos. I'll probably post a little video clip of them, the butterflies flying around this area. So I'm glad we have them, but I am so glad that I didn't just scatter them around my yard or in my garden, although they do pop up in different areas, and I have to be on top of that. So just to give you a little bit of a warning, when you want to plant common milkweed in your garden, it's more of a meadow plant. It grows wild in fields, and I kind of believe that's where it belongs, unless you have a large open space for it and you don't mind the haphazard growing. I don't really mind, especially in this planter. It's only for a few months, and then they all get cut back at the end of the fall when the season's over. By the end of October, November, we do still see monarchs in October here in Rhode Island, depending on the weather. So there's my cautionary tale. Thanks for watching.